don't know which way this is going to go. It's all kicking off here at the eLaLiga Grand Finals. Out comes the home favourite, Real Zaragoza's Matias Bonanno of Argentina. The man that flew across from the other side of the world to follow his dream and to play amongst the best names in the best league in the world, he'll say. Up against one of the old guard, Zidane. Back at his best, runner-up from 2019 at the eLaLiga Grand Finals. This time, he wants to get top spot, and
regardless of where you're coming from, it's going to be very, very hard. But he's done well, and now the final's on, Brandon.
Well, here we go then. eLaLiga Santander Cup Grand Final. I'm Sam Zaragoza. Myself, Brandon Smith, and August Rosemeyer taking you through this one. A tournament that has been running for the second year now. Last year it was Real Vieda that had the last laugh in Barcelona, where they were crowned champion with their player attribute, beating Levante 6-4. And 1 year on from that, we're just under 200 miles away in Zaragoza, the home of Real Zaragoza. This is a fairy tale story, but it also could be a great opportunity for Sedan to round out unfinished business from the eLaLiga back in 2020. Yes, this is not the league itself, but this is still a tournament he's had his eyes on for quite a long time. It is Deportivo Alaves from right to left with his first chance of the game in the white strip. Tony Kroos does well, back to goal, it's on! Oh! It's minutes into this grand final, and Zidane is ripping up the script that many Real Zaragoza fans have created and drafted up.
And we see again here what Zidane really have had a lot of success with during this competition. It all starts with Vinicius Jr. on the wing. He uses the speed boost, as we've seen all the players here use this a lot. But Zidane has been very good at using the speed boost to get past the defender, and then he has a lot of space to attack. And when he comes down the wing, he's been very good at finding the pass into one of the strikers, and when he gets it there, it's going to be very difficult for his opponents to defend it, because he's so good at finding the other strikers, and that's exactly what we see there.
And he's so good in the box as well, isn't he, Aga? Just the way he's able to just close control the players. We saw these dribbling techniques, especially against Maestro.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and again there, we saw the lofted pass, we saw the shot cancels, and McGeady cancels. I mean, he had it all in his locker, and it's just going to be very hard to stop if he's playing on that level all the time.
And when you're in the box as a pro, the decision making in terms of those skill moves, is it a case of, right, this time I try one, next time I try another? Because you see players time and time again fall back on the reverse elastic. Yes, of course it's effective, but then other times it's a complete combination of everything.
Yeah, and I think he's been very good at mixing it up as well, making sure that he's not just doing the same every time he gets the ball. It's like you have a different move for every aspect. Let's find this.
It's a brilliant save. Very nearly. That was Zaragoza lifting the roof here. Charging down the line, cut back inside, La Croqueta. Nearly for Matias Bonanno, who is also just as deadly in the box. Valverde finds Ferran Torres, who's been a hero for the Zaragoza FIFA player. Cheeky Chirpano could be on his way. This is the first time we have to also say that we've seen Ronaldinho be allowed in the same team as Ronaldo Nazario. It just never has happened with the drafting format that is included here in the eLaLiga. Here comes Matias now. Cruyff defended well, very well at the back by Koundé.
Yeah, an interesting start to the game here. I expected to see two of the players here showing why they are in the final, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're showing what brought them here. We saw Matias Bonanno with the cross before, which he's been very, very good at, and then we have Zidane here, who's been brilliant at working his way into the box here.
Referee, all that could have went the other way. He's got very fortunate there. as Matias. The play animation went sort of back into himself. Lofted ball, there's Ferran Torres. Watch out for more of those throughout the two legs. He will be looking for that ball. But a great start from Sedan. Score within the first 5 in-game minutes to settle the nerves. Cruyff, La Croqueta, nearly squeezing that through to the path of Ferran Torres.
We see again the pace of Vinicius Junior. He's been so good at this, Zidane. The situations here when he gets isolated with his winger against his opponent's fullback. It's been on the highest level, that's for sure. On the other hand here, the way Matias has been timing his crosses has also been on the highest level.
Just to put this into clarity for those that might be listening. Matias Bonanno, 19 years of age. In his first competitive season last year, Aga, 4 titles. Lowest competitive finish in a tournament last year was a top 6. Other than that, this man makes finals. He's a winner.
And that's what I mean, like, it's very rare that you would go against him in the final. But on the other hand, the way Zidane has been playing,
could be 2. Come back inside, that's nice. One more round the corner, defended well just about. And that'll do us half-time here, the eLaLiga Santander Cup final. And he's Deportivo, sorry. Alaves with a 1-goal lead. It was the first goal in the first 10 minutes for Sedan. And although he might be against the home crowd, he's just keeping his head down and going about his business in the best way possible. All eyes are on the prize, the eLaLiga Santander Cup.
Yeah, a very entertaining match here from the beginning. And what I find interesting as well is that in Bonanno's 2 previous games, he had a possession of 70%, but Zidane had much more possession than the other opponents Bonanno played against. So it just goes to show that Zidane has been comfortable on the ball. He's perhaps been better to pressure Bonanno and making him make some mistakes in his build-up. So it's a really tight match between these two, and it's hard to separate them right now. I think both players are showing elements, and as we can see instantly, and as we've been speaking about, Bonanno has a lot of different game plans, and he's not afraid to make changes if he doesn't feel like he's dominating.
Yeah, try and keep up at home for those that are trying to follow Matias Bonanno's game plan change there. He's changed about 22 things in the space of 40 seconds. That's player instructions he's changed, the depth, the width.
Players in box, how high the pressure line is, how wide you want it to be, and it goes fast because he probably
he's done this many times, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he probably have 4 to 5 different formations and tactics and strategies that he can pull off as minimum. And potentially he'll go over to the 4-4-2 with 2 CDMs here, as we were seeing. Maybe not just yet, but he have it.
Here's Ronaldo now, R9. For Zidane, corner. Still on the back foot. We have not really seen Matias Bonanno play the way he would have wanted to. Into the box it shall go. Easy pickings for Courtois. And that's how you have to play against Matias Bonanno. There's a lot of chat about him because he is one of the newest hot prospects on the FIFA esports scene in terms of the quality that he has provided, but he's going absolutely in the right way about this Zidane. He's made it uncomfortable for him. He's making Matias mould around the way that Zidane wants to play.
And we even see there a rainbow flick from Matias.
Is he missing R10?
I think he definitely wanted R9. I don't think Ronaldinho has been that important to him because he had Ousmane Dembele and Ferran Torres, but obviously you want R9 in your team, and he is a player that even if he you aren't that much involved. You just draw all the attention from the defenders, because you know that if there's one player on the field you don't want the ball to fall into in the box, it's him, because he can go both ways.
Yeah, especially with prime icons now in the game. How much more difficult that will make it. Come the time you'd think of the eLaLiga finals, we might even see team of the season. Who knows? Ball into the box. Headed away. Final 30 minutes of our first leg. All the games are played over 2 legs here. If you have just joined us, this is the grand finals of the eLaLiga Santander Cup. It's Sedan against Matias. Torres. Pedri. One more. Nearly. Nearly.
Just cancelling each other out very well right now. What you would expect from this final as well. It's 2 players playing on a very, very high level. So it's obvious it wasn't going to be a affair with a lot of chances, because both players are simply too strong in the defense to allow their opponents to create a lot of chances. So far, one genius play from Zidane has done the difference. Loads of time left.
Well, it's first against second in the group as well. When I say group, I mean the league table. Deportivo Alaves have got a 5-point gap on Real Zaragoza. What makes this even more interesting, these two have not played against each other in the league yet. They play on the 20th of April. Whatever happens here, it will certainly spice up that fixture. Only 4 weeks left, or matches of the eLaLiga normal season to play. This is a cup that partners alongside the normal season, and as part of their €300,000 prize pool that this league offers. So it's 38 clubs that take place in it. It's a league that's leading the way and paving the way for FIFA esports. Chance. Matias Bonanno looking for a way back in. It was a negative pass back into Puskas. Puskas does well, ducking and diving. Pedri does even better! Timed it green! And rocks the roof here in Zaragoza.
And that's multitasking on a very, very high level from Matias Bonanno. Because what I like about this goal is that Matias is improvising. He's improvising. He's just waiting for Zidane to maybe switch to the wrong player in the defense, and then he finally finds the passing angle, and with a lot of creativity and the right cancel, I'm not sure if it was a McGeady cancel or it was a drag back, he finds the angle.
The patience in that angle.
Yeah, it's on the highest level, really.
There was opportunities to shoot before that, and you can imagine with this crowd as well that are screaming for you to shoot. He had to block it out, and it was just patience. And as you're defending that, as you can imagine, you're thinking, when is the shot coming in? Who's taking the shot? Is he going to really back Pedri to have the shot? Don't get me wrong, he's got the stats to have a shot.
It's really about finding that extra pass and make the extraordinary play here, because that's what it requires now to score against each other. And some other thing I found pretty interesting here was that Zidane actually switched his wingbacks. So you will see, let's just follow this.
Valverde, that would be a story if both centre midfielders were to get on the score sheet. It still could happen. Final 7 minutes of our first leg. It is 1-1 here between Deportivo Alaves and Real Zaragoza.
So yeah, if we really pay attention here to Zidane's 4-back line, he switched Dani Alves and Yuri Berisha. So Yuri Berisha is playing the right back. And why is that? That is because Bonanno has been playing with Ferran Torres as the left striker / cam. And obviously, Zidane has been taking notice of the way Matias Bonanno has scored a lot of his goals, and that's been to crosses to Ferran Torres. So you want to have Yuri Berisha in a matchup because he offers more height, he offers more strength in the headers. So it's a better matchup to have Yuri against Ferran Torres rather than have Dani Alves against Ferran Torres. And Dani Alves against Ousmane Dembele is a bit more, is also a bit more fair. battle, right? So again, one of those small tactical elements that Zidane succeeded so much with, and simply required Matias Bonanno to try other things than just doing the crosses, as we saw in the goal to 1-1, where he started to work his way into the box.
Yeah, absolutely. I think on top of that as well, Agger, is what we've seen with the draft format here. It's La Liga players only, all icons that have played in La Liga, only 4 of them. Players have had to do that. They've had to play players left back in at right back in at centre back. Puskas has had a stint at centre mid earlier today. Ferran Torres is a left winger. They're wrong, they can certainly do the job there. But there's been the element of sort of gluing together the perfect squad. Added time for a minute now, last chance of the game. That'll do us for the halfway point here in the grand final of the eLaLiga Santander Cup. It is Deportivo Alavés 1, Real Zaragoza 1.
With the McGeady cancel, we saw a unique goal from him to get back into the match, and yeah, now we're in for it.
This is it. The final piece of the puzzle, the final game here, live from Zaragoza, and it couldn't be more perfectly poised. 1-1 the scoreline after the first leg. Deportivo Alavés from left to right in the white. Real Zaragoza in their away strip. It's all to play for here. And this could be an awful start. Not cleared properly. Elastico from Sedan. Can't escape it. This is the opportunity for unfinished business to be completed for Zidane. He was a runner-up of the eLaLiga back in 2020.
Yeah, an early warning.
Bonanno, sorry, Agger, is a player that probably deserves a trophy after everything he has done in the last 12 months or so. Build him. Here's Matias. Ferran Torres, a man he's wanted in this team, back to Cruyff. Went for the play a lot near enough, or tried to do something on those lines. It all got a bit confusing there, and I think there was more defensively of Sedan there.
Yeah, just trying once again with the McGeady cancel, and it was so close to find that passing lane that would eventually lead to a goal, but some last seconds interceptions for both players in each end has been crucial here for them not to get behind in this final match.
Nabil Fekir gets a nod as well for Zidane this time round. I swear it was the player we saw before. Maybe I just wasn't keeping an eye. Here comes Vinicius Junior, Nabil Fekir! Speaking, he shall appear. The French midfielder of Real Betis makes an impact in a grand final. We didn't see him previously in the teams, now we do. It could be the all-important part of this.
And I really think, again, Zidane shows what's been working so well for him during the Cup today. Just using that speed and pace with Vinicius Junior, making the speed boost there and just finding the angle to accelerate. And then a lofted pass into the man you just spoke of, Nabil Fekir. Can tap it in.
One of those players again, Agger. Not probably at the top of everyone's starting 11. He's not. And every player has got that, maybe that second or 13 player pick, or even a 10th or 11th player pick, alongside the big icons, the big players, like a Ferran Torres. But they work. They fit in, they work. Maestro enjoyed Cannavaro.
And I gotta say, we spoke a lot about Ferran Torres as well being crucial for a lot of the players here, obviously. But I'm tempted to say that Zidane's main man has been Vinicius Junior. He's had such a big impact of breaking through on the wings, and when you break through on the wing and get past the fullback and you start to run in towards the box, some sort of panic will always appear to your opponent, because you know that that's one of the most dangerous situations you can be in as a defender.
It's a horrible position to be in. When you're down the byline, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to deal with the situation. That's what we just saw there from Matias Bonanno, as he looks to hunt back into this game now. Little double tap pass, can't quite find the bounce he was looking for, it came off. Ousmane Dembele quite awkwardly, to be honest.
And I have to say again, it's no coincidence that the majority of Zidane's attacks are coming down the right wing. You see it again here. he wants this battle between Miranda and Vinicius Jr. He wants it because he backs Vinicius.
And he's won it. He's won the battle half the time. And again, what do you do against a player of this calibre? You take the game to him, Maggie. You get an early goal and you unsettle them. He's done it on the first leg and he's done it in the second leg. For how long for, though? Ousmane Dembele, back to Cruyff, timed it Reds.
I'm not sure if it would have gone in if it was green, but nevertheless, you have to green it in a final.
Wasn't quite clean, that finish from Cruyff there. Ball bouncing round, back to Ferran Torres, the danger man for Real Zaragoza. Not this time.
And I think coming into this final against Matias Bonanno, he didn't have a lot of preparation, Zidane, just because he played the second semi-final. But I think what him and his coach has been speaking about is how do we get this game over on our premises. We do need to do some tactical adjustments. We're gonna have to try to get the game over on our premises. How do we do that? First and foremost, we have to try to neutralize Ferran Torres on the headers. And secondly, we have to find that 1-versus-1 situation as much as possible with Vinicius Jr. and Miranda, because that's where my forces are, you know, Zidane's forces. That's where I can do bits. Is that
referee, surely! He spoke about one-on-one battles, Aga. Look no further, it's Miranda again in the book. Up steps R9 with an absolute gift for Zidane and Deportivo Alaves. Is it going to be saved? Up steps R9, scores! 2-goal cushion for the first time in this grand final. And suddenly, for the first time in the whole of today's competition in general, the pressure is on Matias Bonanno. The man at home in Zaragoza with about 80% of this audience in front of us behind him.
And I mean, sometimes you ask yourself the question, which position do you rather want to be in going into a final? Do you want to be Matias Bonanno, who just had a break before going into the final? Some players would prefer that. Or do you want to be in Zidane's situation where you just played your semi-final, you had a successful experience, and you can just kind of carry that momentum into the final? Right now it looks like everything has suited Zidane perfectly today.
It could even be this environment as well. This is the first ever time he would have played in front of a crowd like this.
I mean, the crowd have been mostly supporting for Matias. I mean, Zidane has almost played all of his 3 games as he were playing away. Maybe against Levante he felt a bit like he was on home soil, but I mean, against Ibiza it was definitely the Ibiza crowd we could hear, and here in Zaragoza, I mean, obviously you expect the crowd to cheer for him, but he's been so good at cancelling it out.
We had the mayor of Zaragoza earlier today. That's how supportive they've been in the hometown. But Zidane is doing everything right. 40 minutes on the clock, he leads by 2-0 on the aggregate scoreline 3-1. How will Matias deal with being in the pressure cooker? As every minute goes by, it's going to get hotter and hotter. Valverde into foul. Thought for a split second there if he was just onside and got a boot on that. Could have been a serious problem for Zidane.
They just want to take the last attack off the first half here in the second leg, making sure that Matias Bonanno is definitely not going to have an opportunity. But just as I say that, he got the opportunity but didn't take advantage of it. And that's it for the first half here in the second leg.
This is just going through the archives of Zidane. This will be his first ever major trophy. Again, a player that has been top 8s, top 2s, eLaLiga. Back on FIFA 19, he got a top 2 finish there for La Palmas. He's been at an E-World Cup AGA, he's been at a national level for Spain, but he's never had a big trophy lift, a big trophy major behind his belt. What an opportunity this is for it.
Definitely, I mean, and if he were to go all the way here and keep the lead, I'll say that it can be one of the hardest challenges to be so close so many times, and you can easily start to feel like, you can easily start to question yourself a bit when you come down to the decisive moments. Can I actually pull it off? And I think it just goes to show a mentality of a champion, that you keep working hard, you keep backing yourself, and now he's in the spot for it, really. Again, here, still lots of work to do if you want to hold that trophy and claim it. It's not going to be easy, because we have seen Matias Bonanno. He is a player that isn't used to losing finals, really. So he's still backing himself as well. And he will come out with intense pressure here in the last 45 minutes of the game. Potentially.
He has to, doesn't he? He hasn't got another choice. But he's in a very unfamiliar, uncomfortable position. Is Matias Bonanno. Something that's not actually happened much since he's moved to Spain. It's been pretty plain sailing in terms of competition for him. He still plays well, he still plays high. This is the first live LAN event he's been back on the crowd like we have here today. The Zaragoza fairy tale story of hosting the eLaLiga Cup, having one of their own players in the tournament, going one step further than they did last year. At the time it was Gravison.
We'll take a look at the player switching here from Zidane, how he's always having two players close to the player of Matias Bonanno, who's having the ball, making sure that all possible angles to go forward are blocked and are closed down.
Incredible. R9 does well, bats in the build for Fakir, the French magician in the midfield, does well. Dani Alves, little scoop turn from him of all people. Which, as you rightly said, you can see those swap positions again there. Yuri Pacherchi is out on the right back position. A little bit taller than Dani Alves, will do his best to stop Ferran Torres in his tracks, as you mentioned, during the first leg. And to be honest, he's been kept quiet so far. This is nice from Matias. Again, solid defensively. Tony Kroos there back defending. Look at the chance, the 4-on-2 maybe. He can find the dink pass into Vinicius Junior.
And nicely written here, just bringing out Courtois before the pass were even made, because he knew Vinicius is going to outrun there. He's going to outrun the defender. So I have to take care of this situation before it eventually happens. And again, it's about reading the game, and both players are simply amazing of doing that.
Nice, Ambrotta, Puskas, drops the shoulder, he did everything right. Everything right, it was a time green finish, it was just a great save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and again, it's Puskas' right foot, he wanted on the left. And Zidane was aware of that. Let's follow this.
Back to Torres again, his headers and volleys, he's looking for a penalty, he's crying out for anything in the box. But somehow, Zidane will stand on his feet, not dive into the tackle, and just about get himself out of that.
Both players doing a lot of things right in that moment. Matias just taking another touch just to make sure that he can get the ball under control, but Zidane is not committing. He's waiting, he's standing there, making sure once again that there aren't an angle for Matias where he's 100% certain of a goal.
Look at the white shirts forward it. One dives in, leaves even more space. Down this area, so deadly, back to R9. Sedan can't quite find the clean pass that time. Ferran Torres all the way back defensively as well. 20 minutes to play here, it's still 2 goals needed for Real Zaragoza.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we're about to see some changes soon.
If he gets a goal, this will set this last 15 up in the perfect way possible. It's Pedri for Matias, lovely scoop turn. Pedri down the goalkeeper's throat. Another good save. And possession back again, the pressure building. Puskas. Cruyff, surely. Time to breathe.
Again, Zidane is not allowing Matias Bonanno to shoot from the angles where you know it's 100% a goal. Instead, he knows that Matias has so much quality in his attack that he can't keep him away from shooting, so he'll just make sure that he shoots from angles where he feels comfortable about it.
Good feet. Good. Very nearly got a bounce his way. Into the pause we go. It said changes happening, Aga. It looks to be like we're going to see those changes now. It's a 4-3-4 maybe that's just been cued by Matias Bonanno. Or 4-2-4, sorry.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% familiar with the Spanish language, but presión constante, I have a pretty good idea of what that is. And it makes sense. It's the 4-2-4. It's constant pressure.
Basically, in short, you're going to have Matias Bonanno with everybody pressing you non-stop for the next 15 in-game minutes.
And you could also see that he was getting close here in the end. He was close to get the second ball as well. Just applying this pressure and making Zidane feel uncomfortable. He needs to be very cautious in the way that he plays out of his defense now, because the pressure will be all on. And you can also see Matias here just bringing in Bale on his previously position, a left back. That's many years since he played that, but he can master that as well. He has the physics, he has the pace. And on the other hand here, Zidane is bringing in.
Gets his call up finally.
Yeah, he wants the physics, the pace, the strength of him to perhaps keep the ball, maybe running down to the corner flag if it really turns out to be how he has to finish this game off. We see another pass here.
Take all the time they need. It'll be a case of seeing what he's changed now. Final touches, massive 12 minutes. First ever potential major tournament trophy for Zidane. A player that shaped the eLaLiga. He's played a part, he's played for 3 different teams in his time. An E-World Cup grand finalist. But always just lacked that one thing, Aga, that piece of silverware.
And now he's only 13 virtual minutes away from it. You can see the intensity now and the focus on the players. Just having a deep breath here, Matias. He knows that he'll need a goal quick, and then he'll need another one if he wants to have a chance of still being able to lift that trophy. And Zidane just making sure he's 100% ready here, because this goal kick is going to be very important for him. He needs to really be cautious here with how he distributes.
If he can get to the 85th minute,
and there we see,
without conceding a goal,
there we see why Iñaki Williams was subbed on.
Oh wow, Zidane has done so well to get out of that. Top quality FIFA. Is he got to finish behind him? Back inside. It's beautiful. It's classy. There's a player that deserves it too. One of the pioneers in Spanish FIFA esports. Might finally have just found his day for silverware, and his day to crown himself as the eLaLiga Santander Cup winner.
And again, we see another tactical masterpiece here for Zidane. Hold on. We see another tactical masterpiece here, subbing Iñaki Williams in. He knows that it's important to bring in a player that's tall, a player that can win the headers, because he knows that he's gonna use the striker.
No, it's not him.
He knows that he had to use a taller player in order to play it out of the defense. You don't want to take any risks at this situation of the game, so he goes for the long balls, up for a battle here between Iñaki Williams. And basically what happens on the goal is that he wins the header, gets a free run, and then there's so much space to attack that he has the chance to do it. And again, I think that's what brought him the win here. Tactical masterpieces.
Well, there was 4 favourites at the start of play today, but a lot of eyes were on Matias Bonanno. There was a fairy tale, there was a storyline to follow, the home team with their home player. I mean, 80% of the crowd here today have been backing Matias Bonanno. But Zidane and other ideas, Deportivo, Alaves, are writing themselves into the history books. Not just as a team to beat, but as eLaLiga Santander Cup winners for the 2022 season. There will be tears, there will be emotion, and there will be joy for Zidane. A player that's lacked that silverware, now he has silverware. Now he is an eLaLiga champion for the 2022 season. 20,000 euros richer. He is finally a champion. Deportivo Alaves, Zidane is your 2022 eLaLiga Cup champion.
And what a player. You can see the emotions here, celebrating with the coach of his, who's definitely has played a big role in this as well. I mean, looking at the final, they've been discussing together how can we get this game over to our premises, and I mean, you gotta say it makes me happy to see, because you see how much it means for him. You see how much he's been fighting to get this opportunity. He's been so close for so many times. So obviously, I think it's fair to say that